Woo! So, I want to make a follow-up video to the last video I did, the night video I did, regarding, more specifically, just talking about SP issues. I apologize for the truck sound in the background, but everybody watching this can handle that, I'm sure. The last video, I will put a link above to it, was kind of a deep dive about, what it means to love someone or to love a pet. But it's still the question that someone asked me still revolved around SP stuff, and I tried to answer the person directly, and I know that by doing that, it would also answer a lot of other people's questions. But today, I want to just focus a little bit on SP stuff, because, the truth of the matter is a lot of people get into manifesting because of SP stuff. And this is something I was pretty much ignorant of until a few years ago, and really didn't realize the extent of until I basically started making YouTube videos. And I just want to talk about whenever I talk about SP stuff on this channel, the main things that I think are important to realize that I do not see being presented to people with relationship issues where they're trying to manifest love into their life, and in many times trying to manifest a specific person into their life. I want to just go over some of the issues that I see and that I talk to a lot of clients about, because a lot of the people I work with, certainly a lot of people I have consultations with, have SP issues that they want to resolve. And so I'm just going to shoot from the hip here for a couple minutes. And a lot of you probably are not going to like what I have to say. And some of you will really resonate with what I have to say, which is why I'm sharing it. I don't share this stuff to be negative. I share this stuff to be truthful, because I don't think there's enough truth in the manifesting community in general, and certainly not in the SP community. So what I want to talk about right now is that mainly this. I think for most people who have relationship issues or who are looking to be in a relationship are better off ignoring all the manifesting SP advice they hear. I mean that. I mean that. I literally think that the SP manifesting advice that you have gotten into some way, and it's no one's fault, but the SP rabbit hole that perhaps you have gone down in some way is not helping most of you. It's actually hurting you from getting into a good, healthy relationship, romantic relationship. The reason I was generally unaware of this whole SP phenomenon up until few years ago is because I always looked at these teachings, rather soberly, and like what I like to, I could say maturely, right? Sound pretentious. But from trying to have a mature perspective on them, and to incorporate manifesting a specific person, it just seemed irrelevant to what all these great teachers, including Neville, certainly Neville, what he was saying, or even what I was never that into Abraham Hicks. I mean, I like Abraham Hicks. Esther's got a bunch of good stuff she says. I was talking to someone about this yesterday. Esther's got a bunch of good stuff that she says, but when she talks about relationships all the time, I mean, it's that stuff is so misinterpreted. But anyway, I never looked at Abraham Hicks or Neville or any of these people as them giving relationship advice, right? It's because their advice is meant to be deeper than that, generally speaking. You could argue against that perhaps with some of the stuff that Esther talks about. But anyway, I don't think manifesting advice is going to help most of you get into a romantic relationship. I think a lot of the good relationship advice that's out there is going to help you. And taking action to, better yourself and get into what seemed, and to put yourself in interactions with people that enable you to more easily get into a relationship. I just don't think there's much magic involved. I don't. I think therapy is going to be much, much, much more helpful for 90% plus of people who get into these SP ideas than the manifesting SP advice they hear. Much, much, much more helpful. And here's the thing, is that if you do therapy around these issues, you can still use some of this manifesting advice. It's just you can use it much more wisely than this desperate type of I want to manifest an SP, I want to manifest an SP advice we hear all the time. You can start to look at it maturely, which is, again, kind of what I try to share with people when I talk about SP advice. And I will say, particularly, because I've talked to a few guys with relationship issues recently. And I don't want to get into a gender thing here at all on this channel, okay? I would consider myself very liberal and open about that stuff. I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, it's a masculine thing, it's a feminine thing, blah, blah, blah. But generally, that's not me at all. I think that's an excuse a lot of the time. But with some of the gentlemen I've been talking to, over the last month or two, I have made the point in the case that in our culture, meaning Western culture, I'm here in the United States, but I don't think it's that different in other parts of the West, generally speaking. There's the expectation a lot of time that the male is going to initiate, right? And the female finds that attractive a lot of the time, right? And again, I'm not making blanket statements here. I'm not trying to whatever. But generally speaking, in our culture, there seems to be this thing where masculine energy is kind of initiating and the female energy receives, right? So particularly for guys, because I would say 3/4 of the SP issues I deal with, maybe even 80%, are women with SP issues. But for the 20-25% who are guys that I talk to, particularly them, and I just noticed from my own life and also from working with people on relationship stuff and not using any manifesting advice whatsoever, especially for guys, fucking drop the SP horseshit. You don't need it. You go get the woman. Okay? And you can be a woman and go get the woman, or be a woman and go get the man too. But it's that kind of energy. The energy of I'm interested in this person. I want to get to know them better. And I'm open and genuine conveying that. Where's the SP advice? It's hang back and just visualize it happening, and you never fucking do that. You never take fucking appropriate action. Oh man, it pisses me off so much how this stuff is portrayed online. The SP online community. Wishing and hoping I'm now in a perfect relationship, or my SP's back with me, or whatever. It's like grade school bullshit. Instead of being your authentic self and conveying that to someone you're interested in. And if you want a lot more of this, the SP course, the self-concept and SP course that I led a couple months ago, I think it's 6 hours or something like that of me exploring that and talking with people on that. We have that recorded. You can purchase that course. It's $95. I'll put the link below in the description. But I really would like for people who have SP issues to understand that the SP advice you see, especially on YouTube and Reddit and TikTok, wherever, it fucking sucks. It's not going to help you probably. It's not going to help you manifest a romantic partner. Manifesting a romantic partner is about being mature, open, and loving and conveying that for the most part. Doing self-work, working on your self-concept, probably doing some kind of self-reflection, including therapy, is the way to make strides. And then taking appropriate action. What that appropriate action is going to be is going to depend on the individual. But a very good example is like, going on online dating, for instance. Like at least doing something like online dating. Or just talking to more people in general so you get more comfortable talking to people. Looking people in the eye. Being more open. Conveying how you feel more to others in a loving, compassionate way. Those are some examples of taking action. And it's great to active affirming, right? That is a form of taking action. When you're like robotically affirming over and 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 over again, that is a form of action. Don't get me wrong. But if you're just doing that and you're not really doing these other things, it's probably not enough to move the needle in the way you want. You want to be aligned more. If you see yourself as a person who is like a loving person who deserves to be in a relationship and are willing and open to taking the natural steps to make that happen, whatever they may be for you, there's a good likelihood that you will get into a relationship sooner or later. But trying to manipulate people or I saw my buddy Hugo, shout out to Hugo if you're watching this, who's, commented on my videos for since I started doing them, and very insightful. But he made a comment I saw the other day on an old SP video about he's like, this stuff basically in the SP community is just, it's dark magic or black magic, the way people are talking about it. It's like manipulate someone, make them text you, make them fall in love with you. What the fuck is that? It's black magic. It's not following the golden rule. And so, yeah, I'll conclude this with this. What you're not going to hear a lot about, what I always talk about, and again, I'm going to talk about this more in 2024, hopefully than ever before, is the people in the SP community, they're failing, they're fucking up, they're not getting into relationships. So you hear the success stories, but you don't hear the other 90% plus of people doing this SP advice, feeling desperate, and not getting the fucking relationship they want. Keep on going, keep on persisting. You just got to stay high vibe. Give me a fucking break. Watch some of my videos on this. Take the SP self-concept course if you want. Watch some of Maggie Murphy's videos, aka Neville Goddess. I'll put a link above to her channel. Maggie's videos about the SP stuff is why I started doing SP videos. I thought it was a joke at first. But watch some of Maggie's stuff. Watch, some of my stuff. Caleb, the Golden Link. I'll put a link to his channel. He's got some good stuff that's on SP issues. Caleb, Maggie, and myself, we're always talking about, when we talk about SP stuff, we're always talking about the psychology underneath it and the resistance that you have to move through and figure out. It's no fucking magical technique, just keep on persisting, horse shit, dog shit, fucking unbelievable motherfucker. People don't want to get real about it, in the SP community. If you want to get real about it, you can talk to me. I'm offering free initial consultations. No horse shit. No, I'm trying to push a fucking $1,000 course on you or any of that bullshit. If you want a consultation, and then if you think one-on-one coaching where we delve into your stuff and fix it would be helpful, then you can work with me. But you can talk to me if you want help on this. I can be reached at info@radicalcounselor.com. Don't fall for the SP community horseshit. Get real and just be the good person that you are.